Welcome to Grindtime on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. Here are your hosts, Peter and Anthony.
Oh, come on, man! Come on! Not another shot! No! Don't, no! Not a 26-foot, one-legged pull-up.
Floater.
Come on, man. Man shooting a floater from 30 feet away.
Oh, man.
Step back. No, stop.
Kobe.
No.
We said the same thing.
Look like Kobe Simmons out there. Kobe Simmons! Oh, man. Nakobe Dean! Oh, that's not. No.
Yeah.
It was rough, man. It's rough. How do you even start? Welcome to Grind Time and all that. You know, it's a Tuesday. I'm Peter. You saying this?
Yeah.
A lot of you guys are just waking up, probably. Long night last night. Long night.
I slept so good last night.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Not me. Didn't get to sleep till late. Then my 7-year-old came in. She had a bad dream, and you know.
Yeah.
So
I ain't fall
just the
asleep probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
You know, just the
I
whole
still slept good.
whole thing. Tough. Then I got to wake up early because, you know, the kids are got to. This is. Anyway, this is how it goes. That's life. That's life. That's life in the big city. It's life when you're in the Western Conference and you're in the playoffs and it's late night and you got to stay up late to watch an atrocious game that ends terribly. That's where it goes. The Grizzlies did just enough to break your heart. That's what they do. They mucked it up. They took that thing into the mud. Class gave up 39 points to the Warriors, including 18 to Steph Curry. And they lost a game that they maybe could have won. I don't know. I mean, you could look at the series and maybe they could be up 3-1. Maybe they, who knows. But if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. That's what I always say. That's so true.
Never heard them.
You never heard that? If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. If this, but that, nope, don't matter.
Okay.
What is the score of the series right now?
That. Let me see you.
Let me. When I say weak, you say
weak. Oh, man.
When I say Dylan, you say Dylan. Ooh. All right, so we oh man, I don't know. I mean, we can go. Grizzlies obviously lose last night. Mm-hmm. They're down 3-1. Doesn't look good from a series perspective.
Yeah, season's over. Yeah.
Season is basically over. You don't have John Morant. Played very, very, very well without John Morant, but I'm assuming John Morant is out for tomorrow and probably for a while, based on supposition and inference and rumor and innuendo and speculation and all that stuff. Because that's all you have to do with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies won't they're not just gonna be like a regular team and just tell you stuff that like most teams would do. Like when they have an MRI, they would like let you know what the results are. But apparently Ja is some sort of a mystical being where the MRI has to be read by the mystics up on mountaintop. So my understanding is that Zach Kleiman is actually taking John Morant's MRIs to the top of the mountain where the shamans will interpret the results and be able to give the Grizzlies a timetable as to what may happen to John Morant. He has to, of course, go through the whole process of the mystical smoke and running the smoke up the chimney and all that stuff that we've talked about because, most teams they get an MRI and they say, hey, doctor, what do you think about this MRI? Or, hey, multiple doctors, what do you think about this MRI? And doctors, having looked at MRIs before, say, oh, this looks like you've got a torn ligament of some sort. Or, this looks like you have a meniscus issue. Or, oh, no, this looks pretty clean. With John Morant, no, he is made of adamantium. And so you have to take it to a special mystic shaman. That's why it takes so long. That's my understanding.
Dr. Strange, actually.
Yeah, I assume that's the only reason. Because I mean, there's no other reason why it would take so long. They've had the MRI for 48 hours. They've had a chance to look at it. So clearly, there's no other reason why it would take this long, other than again a mystical involvement. I have to assume.
Want me to predict the future?
Why not?
I think that I think the season ends.
Mystic Anthony's.
I think the season ends in Game 5. I don't want to go back to San Francisco. I don't want these guys to get on the plane and go back to San Francisco. Let's go ahead and count Game 5.
You want to just go ahead and lay down?
Yeah, let's go ahead and just lay down. Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan style.
Finger poke of doom.
Yeah,
situation.
finger poke of doom style.
Okay. All right.
then everybody gets up and hugs each other after the game is over. Let's just do something like that, and then everybody puts on the NWO shirts. Let's just
Everybody puts on the gold-blooded Warriors
the
shirts.
gold-blooded Warriors. Yeah, let's do that.
What if Dylan Brooks did that?
Oh, for the love of God!
What if Dylan Brooks did that at the end of the game? He took off his shirt. He's like,
Yeah.
it was me all along.
Yeah,
it was me all along. I'm gold-blooded.
Then they go back and show the replay. You say Dylan said, take the dive.
Take the dive, Gary Payton.
Take the dive, Gary Payton. I'm coming here.
Gary Payton's actually fine. Oh, my God.
Gary Payton.
It's Gary Payton's music. Dylan Brooks! Oh, how could you, Dylan? You can go to hell. You can go right to hell.
And Dylan comes out with a painted-on beard.
Man, I told you. You should have listened to me. You should have believed me. When Ja was out, you should have given me more shots. I told you. I got to go to a place that appreciates me.
First it was KD and now me. DB. He comes back with his hair like in a ponytail, slick back in a ponytail.
You didn't believe me, but I told you. I was the devil. That's right. And I meant it.
I don't even know what I was talking about. I don't even know what I was about to say, man. I was about to say something good. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
That's hilarious. I can't think about what I was about to say, man. Oh, just get it over with, man. Like, you got the home team there. We can send them off, clap them up. Somebody can pull a Carl Anthony Towns. I don't know. Kyle, Tyus Jones, or somebody could, get the crying and, get emotional. I don't know. Probably be Kyle will be the one that gets emotional. It's been kind of tight wound this series, man. Been kind of an emotional series for Kyle. So, yeah.
It's been an emotional series for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's been emotional just all the way around. Emotionally good, emotionally bad, emotionally terrible. I don't know. It's just it's been extremely frustrating for a lot of reasons. And last night was no exception. Again, the Grizzlies were ahead in this game for 47 minutes and 13 seconds, somewhere in that neighborhood. And yet, what's interesting, Anthony saying, and I don't know how you felt, if you felt the same way. And our listeners can hit us up on the AutoZone listener line and tell us if they felt the same way. Get in the zone, AutoZone. 901-360-8255. 901-360-8255. Text us, call us. I never felt like the Grizzlies were going to win that game.
What?
Never.
You felt like something crazy was going to happen?
Never, ever, at no point did I feel comfortable enough to say the Grizzlies are going to win that game. I didn't. They were ahead in the third quarter. I was like, this doesn't look that great. Fourth quarter, this doesn't look that great. No. 2 minutes left. Oh, they're still kind of clinging to that lead. No, doesn't look. And sure enough, less than a minute. Yep, that's what I thought. I was emotionally. Now, granted, I'm not a fan in the same way that like a fan. Like that's not. So it hits me different than it would if you're emotionally involved in it like that. But I was absolutely not at all. It did not hit me emotionally like a ton of bricks. It was like, yep, that was what was going to happen. And there you go. They were just playing with house money too much. It was too. You were relying on the Warriors to be too bad for too long. You had plenty of opportunities throughout that game, and we've talked about it. The Grizzlies have failed to capitalize on key moments. They could have done that in Game 1. They could have done that sometimes against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They could have done it, multiple times, and they just didn't do it. Last night, that what was always a 6 or 8 or 10 point lead could have been a 20-point lead. I mean, the Warriors were awful. They missed their first 15 threes, for God's sake. Like that's the chance for you to run that thing up, get crazy, and they just didn't do it. It was a 6 to 8 point game for the majority of the game, even though the Warriors played absolutely horribly. Yeah. And the Grizzlies defended. I mean, it was a much, much better approach. It was a much better game plan. It was a much better effort. I mean, Tyus Jones was like a different person as a starter, completely different person, completely different energy. Steven Adams came in and did exactly what
who would have thought it?
What we had discussed that he would probably do and did, and it remains even more inexplicable why he didn't play in Game 3. It remains inexplicable why he didn't play really in the fourth quarter down the stretch of the game. But be that as it may, he played extremely well defensively and even offensively. Like in the stuff that they had him do, he was doing it just fine. I mean, everybody, a lot of guys stepped up. Jaren was very good. You could pin this one on Dylan Brooks, and you could pin this one on Taylor Jenkins. I mean, that's really the gruesome twosome from last night.
Yeah, I was.
And we'll
I
get
was,
into the weeds on it. I promise.
Yeah,
you.
for sure. I was super disturbed. I don't really want to get too deep into the details. This is the first segment of the show. I was super disturbed after the game, laying on my couch, checking my receipts of all the people who said that Dylan should have been starting.
Yeah, you started to.
Oh, I got all of them. Vernon, whoever. All of them got the smoke. And I might dedicate a whole section to Vernon today because I know he's about to walk all this back now. He got the corporate email saying, get him out of here. I know he got the.
Oh yeah.
I know he got the corporate email.
What I like to call the Mike Conley.
Yeah.
From him, where it's like, let me just forget about the years of stuff I said going in one direction, and let me just
take a total 180. Yeah.
Pivot to a different direction.
Yeah. I'm sure he got the company email saying, "Let's get Dylan out of here. Release the Kraken." Then Vernon comes out in mecha armor to get ready to get Dylan up out of here.
I've been authorized.
I've been given the green light.
I've been given the green light to rip you.
Operation DB out is in full effect.
Villain out.
De-villainized.
No, but seriously.
No, but I was
absolutely terrible.
I felt awful last night, sitting on my couch, getting my laughs in, tears in my eyes, reading a tweet from a guy who said Dylan was so bad last night that the crowd stopped booing him. I cannot stop laughing at that.
That is 100% true.
I cannot stop laughing.
I mean,
I cannot stop laughing.
It's absolutely true. I went back and watched, and about midway through the third quarter, they're like,
they got with us.
They're like, yay!
Yeah, get that dude the ball. That lead is diminishing. But no, I was late there and I watched Taylor Jenkins and
I want to say I didn't support the Tupac tweet that was going around.
I haven't seen it.
You didn't.
I got too much. I haven't seen it on Twitter. Is what I'm saying. If I saw it, I probably would have retweeted. I ain't gonna lie to you. But
I mean, I don't support that kind of filth. But
yeah, but you shared it with me this morning.
Yeah, but I don't support it though. I didn't.
You just thought I might like it.
Yeah, just.
I got you, bro.
You see this, Jay Morgan? I'm just gonna show Jay Morgan. Again, this is something I don't support this kind of stuff. This is filth, trash. But I just don't.
It's a picture of like Tupac as an old man. And it says Tupac if Dylan Brooks was the shooter.
I don't support that kind of stuff.
It's out of bounds.
That's not cool.
Not an endorsement.
No.
But
I'm saying that as an example of something I don't think we should do. I want to make that clear. That's why I shared it. I said this is something we should not do, and then I like to give an example of that. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
that's why I share things. Like this is awful. Please don't share this with your friends.
So So I'm laid there on the couch. I'm getting my jokes.
Like the pornography channels. Like I'm like, do not. Like here, go to this site here. Don't go to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to.
You're clicking X's, man. You're clicking X's. Little X's, big X. Wait 5 seconds X's. All those X's. You just got all three of them. You got to avoid. So
horny singles in your area.
Yeah. Want to date with a local?
Want to mingle?
Want to date with a local girl? Enough self pleasure. You want to have a actual real date? Yeah, why not? Anyway. So I'm laying on the bed. I'm going through my tweets. I'm going through my receipts. Of all you people who tried to
going through my receipts.
You people belittle me when I said Dylan needs to come off the bench.
Man has bars by accident. Accidental bars right there.
Yeah. These people belittle me. Yeah, imagine that. All these people came at me when I said it. I came on your show, Jay Morgan.
Well, it's John Harden's show, but yeah, no, I argued with you.
I came on your show and I told y'all, yeah, y'all gonna see. Anyway, I came out and I cashed my receipts back in. I got my return of my investment that I put out with that tweet. And I look at the screen and I see Taylor Jenkins and Chris Harrington, Chris Harrington kind of rides the line on stuff. Like he won't come out and say, I don't agree with you, but he'll say, well, if what you're saying is true, it's gonna have to be a situation. Right. You know, he gets to doing all that type of stuff, right? So he never came out and said,
what do you
that was my Harrington voice.
Yeah.
So he didn't come out and say, saying you're wrong.
Different white people voices confuse me sometimes.
So, but he put out a tweet kind of like, if you want Dylan to be your best defender, he's going to have to start. That's what he was saying. So I didn't get Harrington. I didn't come at Harrington. I came at Vernon, though, because Vernon started dropping numbers on me when I said that Dylan needs to come off the bench. So Vernon started coming out with numbers, and then all the Vernon Hive are like, oh, yeah, imagine that. Imagine not playing DB, the hardest of the team. Oh, that's once Harrington said it, then Vernon chimed in, and then all the other little goofs started coming out, whatever. So, anyway, Chris Harrington asked Coach Taylor Jenkins, like, what are your thoughts on, like, why you played Dylan like the whole game? You didn't play nobody the whole game, the entire series. So what was up with that? He's like, well, Dylan was, he's missing some shots, but that's my guy. I love him. He's
Coach Mark Giannotto.
He was playing great. He started doing all that. I'm like, man, what in the world? And you know what I came up from that? I said either Taylor Jenkins is out of touch, like he really doesn't get it, or he's a maniacal madman who's going to throw Dylan Brooks under the bus when the season is over. And I'm going to bet that he's number 2. I don't think that he's crazy. I think he realizes that Dylan kills what he wants to do. You understand what I'm saying? And I think you're going to see him throw Dylan under the bus in about 5 days when the series is over. I'm like, Taylor Jenkins, why are you lying? You're clearly lying on TV. So do you think it's number 1 or it's number 2? Or is there another option?
I mean, I think it's mostly number 1. I think it's number 3, which is Taylor Jenkins knows that they've made a deal with the devil,
literally,
in this case, our deal with the villain, where he is a absolute must from a physicality standpoint on defense and the way that he handles. And as a result of that, you have been unable to coach him to understand that these shots are killing your team. And so you have to deal with it anyway. And that's your deal with the devil, to say, look, we got it. He's going to take a bunch of jacked up shots, but we cannot play defense without him. We just can't. We need it. And now that's the deal that you've made. Now, I cannot under no circumstances do I think that that Taylor Jenkins is dumb enough or maniacal enough, or however you want to phrase it, to put the clamps on. These are, he's had 2 winnable games this series. He's not far away from an actual, run to a conference final or an NBA final. No matter how flawed this team is, they're not that far away. And so for him to do that would be incredibly stupid. It wouldn't make any sense at all. So no, I don't buy that. I think it's just a matter of, whether they do or don't. The thought is that they need him defensively to the point where they're willing to sacrifice so much offensively. My point is that is not a trade-off that is worth making. And you saw it last night. That's always been my point. Is, you could talk about Dylan Brooks as this, that, and the other, and I've tried to say it for years, man, and I'll repeat it again today. Dylan Brooks is training wheels. People want Dylan Brooks to be the bridge between the old school grit and grind and this new school Grizz next gen, and he's just not. He's not that. The grit and grind Grizzlies understood who they were. The number one thing about that team is that they understood their identity. Dylan Brooks does not understand his identity. If Dylan Brooks actually identified as a defensive stopper first and foremost, then I'd be fine with him. But he doesn't. He identifies himself as a playmaking shooter extraordinaire who happens to also play good defense. Mm-hmm. That's the way he sees himself.
Right.
And so as a result of that, he thinks he can shoot his way out of any and all slumps. In the way that, some great stars have gotten off to bad starts. The series, Kevin Durant played the Grizzlies and shot, was 28% in the first 3 games, and then all of a sudden, that's Dylan thinks that's him.
Oh my God,
that ain't him.
Jay heard it turn black all of a sudden. I look up and it was Darius.
That ain't him.
Yeah, no, it ain't him.
Jay Morgan got a tan.
I can still hear him in the hallway. I can hear Jay in the hallway still, as if he's on there.
That's right. And you will for a long
bad
time.
Cleanup, man. That's all. Bad cleanup.
Welcome back there.
Welcome back there.
What's up,
We're
y'all?
going to address you in a minute. We got to send you some flowers. We got to give you some flowers.
Quite a quick handoff there. Hand of the baton off.
But go ahead, though. I agree with you, man. Dylan,
So that's my point, is that the Grizzlies have made this deal where they have been forced to, because of the nature of, and especially last night without John Morant, there is nobody on the team that is capable or willing to get their own shot the way that Dylan is. And in the playoffs, getting your own shot becomes much more important, as we've seen from John Morant.
just getting a shot off.
Getting a good shot off.
We're not worried about it.
Shot
We're not
off,
worried
or
about
even
it
a
goes.
moderately bad shot. Whatever. That he's the only guy on the roster right now that feels comfortable doing that.
He definitely feels comfortable doing
And he feels way too comfortable doing that. But he's the only guy that does right now. Jaren is not. That's not. Jaren was more aggressive, but that's still not his situation. Obviously, Desmond Bane, same kind of thing where he's much more comfortable as a catch and shoot option. Mm-hmm. He does have some playmaking ability. He does have some off the dribble ability, but that's not really his thing. You can go up and down the list: Kyle Anderson, Tyus Jones, all that. So that's the problem, is that Dylan Brooks has been placed in this outsized offensive role, and you might just about be able to get away with it if Dylan Brooks wasn't wired the way he is.
Yeah,
and he's wired as every shot is a good shot if you're Dylan Brooks. There's no such thing as a bad shot if you're Dylan Brooks. If Dylan Brooks is taking it, it's a good shot. And that's insane. And that leads you to that little goofy step back three with, a minute,
45 seconds.
Yeah, with 45 seconds left when you're clinging to a 1-point lead, and it's just like it's such a bad possession. The turnovers, the bad decisions, all that stuff.
Do you think that my tweet where I said that not Darian. Why am I saying Darian? Because I'm looking at Darian. That Dylan's lack of awareness was birthed his rookie season playing on a crap Grizzlies team, where we were like crying to him, oh, man, we finally got a good draft pick. Oh, man, we finally got a shooting guard. Oh, man, we finally – we crowned Dylan a lot of stuff his rookie year, if you go back in time with me a little bit. If you guys can remember how excited we were for Dilly Dilly, which is what you guys – I had to come in and, save y'all from Dilly Dilly. And I've never gotten my flowers from that. Y'all about to call this man Dilly Dilly.
I never understood that at all.
Darian Newsom. I had to come in and say, hey, what about Dylan the villain? I said that 5 years ago.
Well, actually, because it was hot, man. It was because of the Budweiser commercial.
I had to save y'all from y'all. Y'all going to be calling this man Dilly Dilly. I can't sell no Dilly Dilly shirts. But anyway, let me get back on. We created a monster of Dylan Brooks his rookie year because he was the first draft pick that actually could play basketball that this team had drafted since Mike Conley. That's who Dylan Brooks was. And that team was horrible. And it had him, his second year, when he was supposed to come off the bench for Garrett Temple, feeling away when he didn't get the starting job at shooting guard. And then he got hurt, and then Dylan came back. It was, oh, here comes Dylan, and we got Dylan back. And he's created this monster in his own mind where he is the OG of this franchise. But he is. Yeah, I'm the last remaining pillar of the Grizzlies organization.
He goes back to Fizdale. He was he was a Fizdale, and Fizdale gassed him up.
He was just Kobe Bryant
when they drafted him. Fizdale gassed him up as Fizdale does.
He's a winner,
and then
champion.
Same thing with then JB. Kind of was. Not quite as high on him, and that was a little bit tricky.
We look like, how dare you, JB?
And then, so to me, that's part of it, but it's also just his mentality. He was like that in college. He was very extra in college. You talk about doing the most. He's always done that. Yeah. He's always done the most.
Look up Dylan Brooks flop college.
Absolutely.
It's the funniest video you've ever seen.
And him, it's so surprised that he's the guy that, Coach K got into it with his taking that shot at the end of the game and all that. That's just Dylan. So he's always had that kind of personality. And I think confidence is important for a player. Confidence is vital, especially a guy that's a second-round pick. You got to have confidence. So
I ain't mad at the confidence.
That's cool, but no, this is delusion. Confidence is not delusion. You don't have to pretend that you're something that you're not. It's it's crazy. So the thing is that some people have failed to understand. What I've meant when I've said that he's the training wheels for your franchise. You cannot be a 60-win legit contender for a championship in the postseason with him playing this level of a role. Mm-hmm. If Dylan wanted to mentally recalibrate his role, then he could still play a huge part on the championship team.
Yeah.
But he's not willing to do it. That's where I have to go back, generally speaking, and blame Dylan for what he's done. And that's why I put out the numbers. Literally, today,
come on,
as we speak.
Come on with the numbers, people.
There has not been an NBA player in the last 2 decades who's played he's played more than one series in a playoff. So not just one guy that got swept or something. But a guy that's actually played some run, at least 8 games. No NBA player in the last 2 decades of playoffs has matched Dylan Brooks' lethal combination of higher than average usage rate. So he's got almost a 25% usage rate, which means he is second behind Ja in terms of possessions that he takes the shot and he does stuff with. And true shooting percentage of 42.4%, which is the worst that any NBA player in the playoffs has ever done at his level since at least 2005. So nobody combines. So there have been plenty of NBA players who have been bad shooters, but they don't take as many shots. Mm-hmm. Nobody combines the usage rate, which is very high, with the lack of making shots, which is also very high. Most guys say, "Oh, I'm not shooting very many shots." Oh, that's probably because I'm not making very many shots. Okay, maybe I should be careful about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm making a lot of shots. Maybe I should shoot more.
Yeah.
Like coaches and players tend to be able to calibrate that. Nobody in at least the last 2 decades. I had to go back to Chris Webber back in 2001 with the Sacramento Kings in one of their playoff runs to find a guy that had as high a usage rate as Dillon Brooks and a similarly low true shooting percentage, which true shooting percentage incorporates your 2-point shots, 3-point shots, and free throws.
Twos and threes.
Twos and threes.
And free throws.
ones.
And ones. Ones, twos, and threes on this one.
If you can control your ones, twos, and threes in NBA, man, you should be a good player.
What that means, again, is, for all the stuff, and I also pointed out that, if you're a advanced analytic guy, he has the worst ever box score plus minus in the history of playoff basketball. Worst PER ever. Worst win shares ever.
Oh, man, I can't even trade him.
And the worst.
I can't even trade that dude, man.
Yeah, and the worst true shooting percentage since 2015, and then even before that, you have to go back even further for that. So it is just bad, is what it is. It's real bad.
Yeah.
And that's not just last night. That's the entire playoff run. Like nobody does this. And so we'll come back and we'll talk about. Obviously, you have to blame Dillon Brooks, but
always some more people to blame.
You got to blame somebody else.
Yep.
Because Dillon Brooks.
It wasn't Mike Brown.
Dillon Brooks does not put himself in the starting lineup. Dillon Brooks does not put himself.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
No.
Penny didn't even do it.
No, that ain't Penny.
This is
Would Penny play Dillon Brooks?
Yes.
Penny would think Dillon Brooks.
Penny would play 40 minutes a game. That's my dog. 100%.
You can see the thirst.
Look at
the
that
thirst
guy.
running down his mouth.
God loves it. Thirsty dog. Get him. Feed him.
Penny put that ass in the transfer portal. Hey, man, it's been real.
Hey,
it's been real, baby.
Yeah, you're going to call. He didn't even get. Do we need? Should we come in? No, we don't need
Nah,
to.
we good.
No,
You good, DB.
we already filled out the paperwork, so you just come in.
You good, yeah.
I just left it up the front desk. You come out and sign it, and you're good.
You already
know how they Miss Margaret.
Matter of fact, I sent you to South Florida, man. They already got the paperwork. What?
You and Tyler.
Hey, you like the beach, right? Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
you good.
Already.
We got you covered. Yeah, no, you're playing for Florida Gulf Coast. That's we got you. We got you right there. It's gonna be nice. All right, we'll come back. We'll continue. Real Sports 56 98.5.
Let former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? If your lights seem dim, it's probably time to change them. We can help you do the job right. If you do decide to change your lights, we've got reliable replacement lights waiting for you. We've even got headlight restoration kits that can have your existing lights shining brighter. You can get whatever you need fast with our next day delivery or free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
At Progressive, you can get 24/7 protection, even if you break the space-time continuum.
Wait, every time you wake up is the same day? That's terrible.
Don't worry, I call Progressive. Their 24/7 protection still works even if my day does last forever.
Yeah, but don't you want it to end?
Are you kidding? I win the lottery whenever I want and never regret anything. It's the best.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Progressive offers more than a great price when you bundle home and auto. We offer round-the-clock protection, which literally means anytime. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Bow, now. Love isn't always on time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on now. Hold the line. Welcome back. Grindtime! Hey, man. Before we get into some more, shenanigans from last night, let me remind you that tonight, well, today, really, happens to be Dinger Tuesday for FanDuel Sportsbook. You know it. You love it. The great folks at FanDuel Sportsbook. Tuesday's Dinger Tuesday. You know it. I love the folks at FanDuel because they get you taken care of here with some fabulous fun. For those of you that like to, jump on in there and have a good time with a little baseball, hey, it's a perfect time to do it. If you think that you know who's going to be hitting a home run today, today's a perfect chance to show your stuff. Show what you know about the folks hitting those home runs. Dinger Tuesday. Yes, that's right. $5 Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel Sportsbook. All customers get $5 throughout the month of May for every home run hit by both teams when you place a $25 to hit a home run wager on Tuesday Major League Baseball games. And guess what today is? It's Tuesday! The best part about Dinger Tuesdays is even if your bet loses, FanDuel will pay you $5 for each home run. Pick Aaron Judge. Let's go ahead and do that today. The Yankees-Rangers, go ahead and pick him and just let the homers come flying in at Yankee Stadium. What are you waiting for? Pick your home run hitter and turn big swings into big wins. There's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. That is FanDuel Sportsbook. Head over to your FanDuel account or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code BIGHEAD. That's promo code BIGHEAD. Must be 21 and older. And present in Tennessee. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $25. To restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. All right. So, we can look at different things if you want. We can blame, and I think it's fair to blame Dylan Brooks for the loss last night. That's fair. Ja Morant, still we have not heard from the mystic shamans above what his knee injury is, even though he's had multiple.
I never gave you my news before it happened.
Oh, yeah.
How did I get off of it?
I don't know.
Just when we started laughing, I said, what was I going to talk about? Yeah. News before it happens, man. Before it's out. You're probably going to hear something soon after we lose game 5, 6, whatever game we lose. That, Ja had to get some stuff taken care of,
Like a knee surgery situation.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, I expect that too. Yeah, I think obviously, I wouldn't. I don't know.
I'm leaning more on the minor side though.
I hope that's the case. I'm a little concerned because of the history of the knee. He had that issue in March with the knee soreness, and there wasn't any structural issue then, but he's had multiple. And I think just out of an abundance of caution, you got to get that thing cleaned up. But there's been a few too many of those incidents for my liking. With him, especially the way he plays, man. He's so dynamic. It goes back to the comparisons to Derrick Rose. I don't think he's going to have the injury situation that Derrick Rose had, but
just
guys that are
crippling injuries that Rose had,
guys that are so athletically gifted, that are so fast and turn so quickly. The body is not necessarily made to do that.
Yeah,
you just have to. It goes back to the Formula One race in Miami. Those Formula One cars cost millions of dollars, and they are absolutely tuned to the nth degree. But if one little thing goes wrong, they just that's kind of these high level athletes, man. When you're that athletically tuned and that gifted, one little false move can. So that makes me a little bit concerned long term with Ja. I do not expect to see him play again this year for the Grizzlies. So that's sad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think you'll hear something about some kind of minor thing.
Will you hear anything, Anthony? Saying I don't know. You might not hear anything until after months later.
Right.
Like, oh, by the way, Ja had his leg amputated. He's got a cyborg leg now, and it's we didn't mention that earlier.
Sponsored by Ubiquity. Ubiquity knee.
He's got a Wi-Fi knee now. That's
it's remotely controlled.
Wi-Fi 6. It's incredible.
We control his knee via Ubiquity, via Bluetooth, while he's on the court. Yeah, there you go. It also plays music.
He's the world's first Tesla player. He's Elon Musk.
He has a Beats by Dre Bluetooth technology in his knee.
You see that Hulu commercial he's in?
I didn't know he was in.
Oh yeah. He has a whole Hulu like by himself. It's called Couch Affinity or Couch Surfing.
I thought
or
that was something for like a clothing line or something.
No, it's a Hulu. He goes down the model. It's like him on a couch, and it's a full.
I remember telling Grizzly fans relax on the endorsement thing. It's like, why is Ja Rookie of the Year, but Zion Williams? I was like, yeah, you relax, y'all. Just take a breath.
Yeah, man.
Look at it now.
So, but anyway, let's go back to the Dylan Brooks situation.
Come on. Can we do something before you go into the?
Yeah,
real quick. Props to my boy Darian.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We gotta give Darian.
Props to my boy Darian, who's back. That has nothing to do with celebration.
I gotta put his cheap. He always messes me with that cheap breaking news.
But I'm trying to get a man props.
Congratulations,
Congratulations to Darian.
Thank you, y'all.
Got his journalism degree over the weekend.
Yeah, man. There's 3 of us in here.
He is now a degree.
Hey, who got a degree?
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. I was trying to drag you along, man. Come on.
I'll take it. You want to give me one? You want to give me an honorary journalism degree? I'll take it.
That's right. You're an honorary.
There you go.
There it is. Right there. It is right there. All right. So congratulations. Now, Darian, that's awesome, man. And I know you guys had a fun time. I hope you had a fun time. Anyway, down in Florida and all that. So good stuff, man. Congratulations. Well done. All right. So we can talk about Dylan Brooks, and we will. But one guy ultimately empowers Dylan Brooks, and that's Taylor Jenkins. And I gotta talk about Taylor Jenkins a little bit here. He's finished second in the NBA's Coach of the Year running, and that was, Monty Williams won the Coach of the Year. It's fine. I don't want to deal with awards talk and all that stuff. And Jokic MVP. There's no point in making the arguments. Who cares? They were all a lot of good players. One of them won. The other ones are good too. I don't know. Doesn't really light my fire to get involved in that kind of a. I can't believe he won there. That is ridiculous. So Taylor Jenkins finished second Coach of the Year. I mean, deservedly so. Had a really good year. The Grizzlies were phenomenal as a regular season team. Did way better than expected. Taylor Jenkins, I think we've talked about it before. I think his strengths come in a culture building kind of approach. I think he's really good at ingratiating himself with the players. He has a good relationship with those guys. He has a good relationship with the front office. He's a very good team builder kind of guy. He's he's very much an organizational type guy. He's a really perfect fit for what the Grizzlies want to do. But in terms of on-court coaching and in-game coaching, it's a separate thing than team building and what you do in the regular season and all that stuff. And he is not proving to be very good so far in that department. Mm-hmm. And those are, unfortunately, there's very few guys that can do both those things very well. So you kind of have to pick and choose what you got. Lots of great coaches. I mean, Doc Rivers is a phenomenal coach, but he's been, lambasted and out-coached in a number of series. And so, this doesn't make Taylor Jenkins unique. It's just,
right.
I think it's kind of where we are right now. He got out-coached by, New Kings.
Who always looks like the goofiest,
Mike Brown
most lost dude.
He does. He just looks like and even listening to him,
no clue what he's doing.
Even listening to him in that mic'd up, he just sounded like some guy that just wandered in. He's like, hey, we gotta play good and play better, and that's I like what we're doing, but I think we got to do better. Okay, thanks, coach. It's stuff like that. And yet he got out-coached.
The challenges, non-challenges.
Yeah, the challenge, non-challenge thing has been a thing throughout his entire career. Now, they could have challenged that the offensive foul that was what should have been an offensive. No.
Oh, yeah.
No, the offensive foul that they called a block.
The block charge with Wiggins.
With Wiggins and Kyle Anderson. That ended up being an and one. When everybody really thought on the court it was an offensive foul, everybody started walking down the court, and then all of a sudden they realized, no, actually he called a blocking.
Yep.
That was towards the end of the third quarter. That could have taken 3 points off the board. That would have been worth a challenge. I don't know. Watching it again, because it wasn't as cut and dried as some of them. I could kind of understand why you didn't make that challenge. But late in the game, when Steph Curry acts like he's been shot out of a cannon because Desmond Bane just touched his back, and Curry flung himself into the stanchion like he was like Magneto was slinging him around. A, that's so just ridiculous. But B, what do you have to lose to not make that challenge there? You're already you're going to give up the 2 free throws. There's only 45 seconds left in the game, so your timeouts aren't really
don't matter. You got to use it anyway.
I'm just baffled why you wouldn't. I think you had a decent chance to win that one. The replay was pretty convincing that he just threw himself around. And they didn't use it. He didn't use it. Why did you not go with Steven Adams down the stretch? I realize that Steven Adams is still.
Why would you say it was a basketball decision the game before, and now you're playing him? He played well, and you just.
I know exactly.
Like you're lying.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like he's playing. He's really playing well, and he's working his way. Like he's been really good on both ends of the floor. Why would you not play him? Again, same thing with Dylan Brooks. Why are you just continuing? I understand that some people don't want to see Melton or Zaire or whatever. I get it. Like there's no perfect option. It's not like you can put in, Michael Jordan. You're not gonna put in Kobe.
You don't have Chris Middleton.
You're not just sitting there. So like you got to put in somebody who's not an ideal option.
Mm-hmm.
But the defense that he gives you, to the extent that you think that's important, does not offset how he is killing you
he kills you,
on these offensive possessions.
You were up 1, 45 seconds left with the ball, and he comes down, he takes a step back, wild three-pointer. It was totally unneeded.
It's it's that the entire – he made his last 2 shots to avoid a even worse, line, but it was 3 of 17.
Oh, yeah, he hit
that crazy half-court 3 that didn't mean anything to make it 101-98. Yeah. It should have been 101-95. That didn't mean anything, but that made it look slightly better for him. You take that shot out of the mix, it's even worse. Like, man, but that's Taylor Jenkins.
Peter.
You got to rein
him in.
You have to get him to understand what he is as a player and what you need to do, and he has not done that. He has and he's empowered him. And here's the thing: after the game, he says, because I got real issues with Taylor Jenkins after the game. I got some real issues. After the game, he says, we trust DB 100%. Why? Doesn't somebody have to earn your trust?
Right.
If you're in a relationship,
that's why I think he's lying.
If you're in a relationship and somebody has stepped out on you 4 or 5 times, made some crazy decisions,
I think he's lying.
You take some pictures. You see some pictures of them in the club, hugging up with somebody else like Urban Meyer. You've seen evidence that they're texting somebody. You caught them, full on in bed naked with somebody else.
No reason 100% trust.
Like, would you be like, I just trust them. I trust their judgment. I just think they're. No, you'd be like, I don't trust you a bit. You show me everything. Where's the receipt? Where were you? Text me when you get there. Text a picture. So this is silly to say.
Send me your location.
Like, why are you trusting? He hasn't earned your trust. The second game of the series, he goes out and clubs Gary Payton in the head with a dumb, reckless move. I'm not saying it was malicious. Yeah. It was stupid.
Just goofy.
And it's goofy. And it's too much. And it's what he always does. And his shot selection this series and last series has been trash, and it continues to be trash. Yeah. And he still is. Hey, we trust him. We trust him. No, you don't. Either you're lying or you're stupid.
Hey, that's what I just said earlier.
And
Peter,
I don't.
Peter, I'm about to say it. I hate him. I'm about to say this.
That's crazy. Why would you trust it?
I'm about to say it, Peter.
Do it. Do it.
Give me a minute. Let me get a little drink of water because I don't believe I'm about to say this soon. I realize Taylor Jenkins, like you said, was second place in Coach of the Year. He's a great motivator, great volleyball initiator, dodgeball initiator with the team, kickball. The guys love him. He's Coach, what do they call him? Coach T or whatever they call him. I think he's a good coach.
Low T?
I'm about to say it, though, Peter.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to see if I can pull up Jeff Calkins and will it into existence. As we go to the break. Free Coach Ivy. That's all I got. And I'm not saying nothing else till we go to break. Free Coach Ivy. Hashtag Free Coach Ivy.
Freer from what? Her lucrative deal. She's doing pretty well.
Coach of the championship level team.
Championship level team. Yeah, it's she's yeah.
Man, don't think that don't
maybe hashtag hire Coach Ivy. Maybe I'd go with that one. Maybe
hire Coach Ivy.
I don't think she really needs to be freed per se. She's
bring her back, man.
Bring her back.
I'm so shocked at you guys today. No blame for Jaren Jackson with that last shot.
Bro,
no,
absolutely none.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't great, but I mean, if you go the way down the list of blame, that's like way down the list.
And there was also a drawn-up play call from. That obviously was something they.
That's just way down the list, man. It's just not.
It sucked.
He's not new. He's not new though, Pete.
Yeah, but come on, man. Look. It was. Come on.
That's low T. You give him low. That's low T.
If we talk about defense, I saw Jaren make some incredible plays down the stretch.
That's way down. That's way down the list.
I'm strictly going 2-minute report.
Way down the list.
I'm just going 2 minutes.
It was terrible.
It's a 48-minute game.
It was a terrible looking shot. I didn't understand what that play call was at all.
No, it's stupid. It was stupid, but that's no. Jaren is.
Okay, one more. What about slow-mo missing those those free throws.
I mean, it's not great. Again,
okay.
But that's again, if you're gonna get mad at guys for missing free throws, then Ja's got you have to get Ja. He's missed quite a few. Like Dylan missed a bunch, but Dylan's shooting under 70% from the free throw line. Come on, man. Kyle's shot is terrible. Again, nothing is new here.
Maybe we can
Have you seen Kyle Anderson shoot?
Maybe we could give.
It's like
Kyle,
a tilt-a-whirl on his wrist. Like
maybe we could give.
I mean, what are we doing?
It was like,
It sounds like boo. Like that's not a normal shot.
Maybe
I'm surprised the guy can make anything.
Yeah.
Sound like he's old in Polynesian.
No,
he is. He's like,
his shoulder's done, though, man. Maybe we can give Kyle like Eve Pond's shoulders.
God, dog.
He's like a shoulder transplant.
It's the worst since Costa Kufos, who literally bats the ball. I've never seen a guy. Costa Kufos, if you watch it, I watched him in warm. It's the craziest thing I ever saw. He'd shoot the ball would actually go off his hand, and he would pop it. It's like what? How are you a professional basketball player? And that's how you do that. You're
playing volleyball.
Like, how did Kyle Anderson get that shot? Like, how? I don't know. It's wild. To me. Anyway, it's just. Yeah, it's fine. You go. It's fine. I don't know.
Go give me Coach Ivy, man. I'm done, man. I'm done. Like
I'm not gonna get to the fire. I'm not fire Taylor Jenkins.
I'm doing that for fun.
I know, man. I'm serious. Like, there's a problem. There's some issues. And then one more issue. We gotta take a break. One more issue I gotta get to as well. One more issue.
I'm just pushing the narrative, man. Because I would.
One more issue.
All right, come on.
After the break.
All right,
got it. Real Sports Talk. Sports 56.98.5.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Found a great new restaurant in Horn Lake, Mississippi, Mr. Q's Sloppy Joe's on Highway 51, Horn Lake, Mississippi. Bring back those childhood memories from homemade Sloppy Joe's to mouth-watering cheeseburgers, spicy or regular fries, chicken tenders, chicken wings, jumbo hot dogs. Just a little secret, Sloppy Joe's has got that nachos cheese on it. On fire, delicious. Fried catfish that melts in your mouth. Light batter too, even homemade lemon cake. Check us out. Don't forget Q's Sloppy Joe's. Daily breakfast from 7A to 10A. Try Q's Big Breakfast. 3 homemade gigantic pancakes, 3 meats, 3 eggs for $10.75. Generous portions. Come hungry. Mr. Q's Sloppy Joe's, 5441 Highway 51. Just 20 minutes from Memphis. Can't miss it. Beautiful old brick house. Mr. Q's Sloppy Joe's, 5441 Highway 51, Horn Lake, Mississippi.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios. Grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers. Everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Woo-hoo! Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Come see Johnny Harden in Barbecue Alley at Memphis in May, the Memphis Fairgrounds, during his live remote this Friday from 11 to 1 to win free prizes. Following will be the Barbecue Buddha himself, Chris Sussman, 4 pit masters, live band, 48-foot Big Green Egg bust, and all kinds of food cooked on the Big Green Egg. Grand Champion Barbecue and Paradise Grill. Only 250 people admitted per session, $20 per ticket. So go get yours now at memphisinmay.org.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
All right, now. Change this lonely night. David says even if he was a chiropractor, Taylor Jenkins could make an adjustment last night. Come on now. I like it. That's cute. AutoZone listener line. Texter said,
he was a chiropractor.
Texter said, the pundits had suggested the West was down this year. I didn't buy it. After watching the first round 1.5, I'm starting to believe it. Yeah. It's a little raggedy, man. It's a little bit raggedy. But both series, honestly. Grizzlies, Warriors. Warriors have had that one game where they kind of got off. But other than that, it's been a pretty nasty series. Neither team has really gone crazy. Each team could have, won, lost. The Warriors would think, hey, man, we could have swept the series. The Grizzlies said it could be 3-1, and you have a point either way. But it's not been the best basketball, that's for sure.
Who do you trust?
And the Suns, in the Suns, I would probably still say the Suns. But
out of all 4 in the West? Okay.
But Chris Paul really stinky last 2 games, like shockingly. He's been played amazing, and then he just fell off, fouled out, and there's just I don't know. So I'm all of a sudden I'm a little leery of them too. So you may be right. I think the East. I mean, the Boston-Milwaukee game last night was phenomenal, like super intense. Mm-hmm. Boston still looks. I think they look the part right now. Miami not going to have Kyle Lowry tonight, which is I think going to help them because he's been absolutely horrible in this playoff. Right, he's not healthy. He doesn't look right. So I think that's actually better for them as they go back to Miami to try to take a 3-2 series lead. Another texter says, I think if the Grizzlies hired Don Staley as a new head coach, that'd be incredible. Taylor Jenkins has taken the Grizzlies as far as he possibly can take them, I think.
Ooh, dang. I'm not there yet.
Whoa.
I will say this. When we have our parade on Beale Street and we're celebrating the NBA World Championship, I don't think Taylor Jenkins is going to be there on the podium. But I don't think it's like...
Because he's celebrating the Coach of the Year?
Yeah, he might be somewhere. Yeah, I don't think he's the promised land coach.
Promised land coach.
The babysitter can't always turn to the butler. You know what I mean? Hey, that was kind of cold, man.
So speaking of him, there's one other issue for
It didn't make no sense, but I like how it sounds.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good.
Give me a better one. Babysitter can't always be the bodyguard. There you go.
I heard about your ifs and buts and candy. You hadn't heard that one.
Ifs and buts were candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry Christmas. Come on, everybody knows
Ifs
that.
and buts and candy and nuts. Jeffrey would be. I don't know.
So let me go to the other thing. So Taylor Jenkins after the game, you were talking about that shot that Jaren took, and he was asked about that shot, and he said that he think it'd be very interesting to said I'd be very curious to see what the last 2-minute report says because we felt like there was contact. We felt like it was rushed, but we felt like there was contact. I'd be very curious to see what the last 2 minutes. Man, stop!
Gives a crap.
Stop it.
Taylor Jenkins have been doing a lot of crybaby stuff through this season.
That is seriously I just can't. In my estimation, he's gone from the insisting that this thing was the Jordan Poole thing. We know for sure that this was a Jordan Poole. That was what caused the injury to John Moran. Our people have said that. We know that for sure. You don't know that for sure. Quit making that insinuation because while you're making that insinuation, you're saying he's a dirty player. Mm-hmm. You're saying that Jordan Poole went out let's just game this thing out. You're saying Jordan Poole went out to another professional player with whom he has I think a reasonably decent relationship, at least before all this, and said, I'm going to attempt to injure him. I'm going to attempt on national television with cameras all over me. I'm going to attempt to ruin my reputation by strangely, after a game, late in the game, going to sort of manipulate his knee using a kung fu grip or the Mr. Spock death grip. I'm going to attempt to injure this man. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying. When you're saying, it's very interesting when this happened. Oh, it happened. Oh, that's when we think it happened. Like, okay, even if you think it happened there, finish that thought. You think so? That's important. Why?
Right.
Why is that important? You think then that he did that on purpose? So you're saying that he.
So what are you saying?
You're saying then that, but if you're saying he did it on purpose, and you're saying the NBA should step in, that means you're saying that he intentionally hurt John Moran. That's what you're saying. Again, that's foolishness. But then to come out yesterday, after all this is over, not to address, to say we completely trust Dylan Brooks, that's insane. And then to say, it's just really going to be interesting when we take that 2-minute report just to see what it's. Who cares? Is it going to say bad shot? Is it going to say you should have taken Dylan Brooks out? That's what the 2-minute report should say. What about the coaching last 8 minutes report? Did we check that one?
What about
I'll be very curious to see what that.
Why the hell did you play Steven Adams?
I'd be curious to see what happened on that report. Because the curiosity in this situation all you're doing is being passive-aggressive, and you're being whiny. And that's not a good look, man. This organization is supposed to be built on toughness and gritness. There ain't nothing grit and grindy about, I'm just very curious about.
Gritness.
Yeah,
Gritness. There you go. Yeah,
grit and grindy.
Gritness.
It's supposed to be all gritness and grindiness, and ain't nothing grindy about, I'm curious about the.
We're supposed to be gritful.
Just get the. Man, get out of here. Quit that. Taylor Jenkins, you're better than that.
I don't think Neil Ivey would do that at all.
You're better than that. Just quit it. Quit. Just really curious to see what it would. What? So what if it says it? Then what are you going to do? Do they come back and replay the game? Is that why you lost? It's just he makes himself look silly.
Yep.
He makes himself look small, and you should be proud of the effort your team put out there. Your team put out a really strong effort. It was really stupid stuff that happened on that team, but ultimately that was a strong effort. You had a chance to beat a Warriors team on the road without your best player. A lot of guys stepped up and played really well, but that kind of the inability to rein in Dillon Brooks and the inability to deal with this stuff is what's going to dictate this series, not the effort that was done on the other side. It's just
strong ass offer.
Texas says bring back Lionel Hollins.
I mean, hell, he lives here, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You're serious. The voice of Facebook is speaking. That man would make
Did you say Dylan was gonna paint a beard on his face earlier?
yeah. Like the Hulkster.
Teddy's coming.
Hollywood Dylan. Hollywood Dylan Brooks.
With a gold, yeah. See, he's gonna take a shirt and go have a gold-blooded shirt.
Yeah, it was me all along. It was me all along. I'm the one who hurt Ja. There's a video of him coming out like secretly hitting Ja's knee, like I told ya.
They can show when they were doing the gritty together. And they'll zoom in and you see Dylan like unscrewing his knee.
That'll show him. Yeah.
He put a banana peel down on the ground while Ja's hitting the gritty against Minnesota.
Hour number 2 on the way. We're gonna talk to Steven Johnson when we come back. Stick around.
It's been said that the world always looks brighter from behind a smile. So why not let my friend, Dr. Mehdi Sadeghi, and his friendly staff at the Smile Center Memphis help brighten up your world. The Smile Center is a local family dentistry located in Germantown, specializing in cosmetic crown veneers, teeth whitening, and Invisalign clear braces, all with free consultation and second opinions. New patients are welcome, and if you don't have dental insurance, don't frown. They have an in-office plan to fit your specific needs. Same-day emergency service available as well. Give Mehdi a call, 309-1333, or visit their website at smilecentermemphis.com.
In the alley since 1948, the world-famous Rendezvous. John, it's so good to see everything kind of getting back to normal.
Brett, we've done a lot of ads before, but maybe it's time for me to do a recap. We have valet parking at the end of our alley on Monroe. On Fridays and Saturdays, we give away our wonderful red beans and rice until it runs out. And you know we like to do things local. Miss Barbara Jackson of O Taste and See has been making these wonderful chess and pecan pies, that's pecan, not pecan, and key lime pies for dessert. And we just started serving this wonderful gelato from Sweet Magnolia Gelato Company. And just to remind everybody, you don't eat cheese and sausage with a knife and fork. You take a cracker, you put sausage on it, you put a piece of cheese on it, a little mustard or a little sauce, take a bite and chase it with the pickle. Brett, we've always been the place for all gatherings, whether they're corporate, rehearsal dinners, retirement parties, birthday parties, whatever. We seat anywhere from 20 people to 250 people. And oh, by the way, we are now open for lunch from 11 o'clock on Tuesday through Saturday. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
At Progressive, you can get 24/7 protection, even if you break the space-time continuum.
Ted, wake up. Huh? You look exactly like me. I am you, Ted, from the future. You need to call Progressive. What? Why? Well, they have 24/7 protection when you bundle your home and auto, and my teleportation cube just smashed into your car. Wait, you crashed into my car? Technically, it's our car.
Progressive offers more than a great price when you bundle home and auto. We offer round-the-clock protection, which literally means anytime. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
This ain't no soft rock, man. I don't know. Soft rock Tuesday. This ain't soft rock. I
said the wrong name.
Google should be undefeated.
Yeah.
Google states that this is soft rock.
Hey, it's soft rock to me, man.
This ain't soft rock. I don't know what this is, but this is not soft rock. Soft rock's like older.
Damn, you alright with me, bro. I don't care.
There you go. There you go. No, that's right. Man, Mike Brown hadn't aged a bit.
He still sounds weird, though.
Mike Brown, you can tell me Mike Brown was like late 30s or early 60s, and I'd believe you either way.
Peter, I don't know if times changed or if I know we got Steven Johnson coming on with us. I don't know if times changed or you just changed, but the fact that you were outraged by Steve Kerr spewing COVID all over the sideline in games 1, 2, 3. I'm surprised.
He had a mask on. I don't know.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. For game 3, he did.
That man knew he had COVID games.
Yeah, that was weird. I know, at the time, I noticed. I was like, he's the only one wearing a mask. Like in this whole.
Yeah, he knew he had.
It was definitely a concern. Let's put it that way. Steven Johnson does join us now from the Daily Memphian. We're just going to talk about all kinds of stuff with Steven since Tiger season's in the books. Well, you get a little Tigers in, but Steven, what do you do about the Grizzlies right now? What do you do about Dylan Brooks?
Man, I'm not gonna say what I really want to say.
And why not?
Come on, man.
I want to be respectful, man, but just know me and the homies was sitting around listing all the small forwards Memphis betrayed him for. The list was very extensive. Very extensive.
I mean, listen, I don't think that's disrespectful. He's got 1 year left on the contract. I mean, it's obvious. It's just you got to go in a different direction.
It was kind of like cringeworthy yesterday, just because you could just see how bad he was struggling. The final shot, the last shot, I just knew they were going to lose when he took the shot and then fouled Steph on the way down. It was just kind of like, I don't know, man. He just kept putting them up, kept chunking them, and now the numbers are coming out. I saw you tweet some stuff. Bobby Marsh tweet some stuff. So it's not, when you see the numbers and the stats, it's like, it doesn't just seem like he's playing awful. He actually is, and we're not just talking about one series. It's like, all-time bad stuff, man. So I feel for DB, but I feel for the Grizzlies even more. I think it's fair to say if he just played okay, there's a good chance Memphis is up 3-1, or at the very least it's 2-2.
What do you think let me ask you both of you guys this. What do you think if we're doing one of those Venn diagrams, what is the overlap between Alex Lomax fans and Dylan Brooks fans? I feel like there's a lot of commonality there. I feel like there's a lot of characteristics.
No, a lot of Tiger fans don't like dudes who do too much offensively.
Yeah, I don't know, but Lomax does a lot. How many different drives into nothing have we seen? How many different drives and jump up and throw the ball to no one in particular have we seen? I feel like there's that same kind of thirsty dog mentality. Like, I'm going to go get that. It's just going after it.
There's a heart and soul.
Heart and soul is what it's all about.
It's heart and soul.
That's a great comparison, though. I don't think I ever seen Alo just kind of go crazy like DB did yesterday, though. But I would say a lot of them are the same type of people, though. But damn, man, he stunk it up last night. He stunk it up last night. I just got to call it how it is, man.
I mean, again, he hits his last two shots. One of the two shots being like basically a heave at the end of the game that didn't matter. You take that out, and it's a whole lot worse. And at the end of the day, man. But see, how much do you blame Taylor Jenkins? We go back to the Penny Hardaway comparison. Like, Penny Hardaway was the one who empowered Alex Lomax to be Alex Lomax. If he hadn't empowered him over the course of these years, it wouldn't be the same thing. At what point do you have to sort of blame Taylor Jenkins to say, hey, what you gotta get control of your guy out here?
Hey. Before I answer that, one more thing. I don't think I've ever seen Dylan Brooks take an easy shot this playoff, unless it was like a wide open corner three. It's like everything is hard, everything is contested. Going back to your original question, though, I think a lot of blame falls on him. And look, and I know they were shorthanded yesterday, and maybe there's only so many guys you can put them out there. But when he played 39, 40 minutes, and whatever he was doing well on defense was just, you can't play like that on offensively against the Warriors. So I just think it was a situation that, as much as you trust BB, as much as good of a defender he was, I think he was clearly hurting the team more for what he was doing offensively. It's one thing to miss shots. It's another to kind of hunt for these bad and terrible shots, and then you break into. So Taylor deserves a lot of the blame, too.
Sliding over to University of Memphis, if I got a two-part question for you, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
If
2 parts.
If Dylan Brooks,
part 1,
if that was the last game of the Tiger basketball season, would Dylan Brooks be getting another scholarship, or would he be asked to go to the transfer portal?
I think they will call that a mutual pardon of ways, if you will.
Oh, man. All right, Josh Minot. Josh Minot decided to stay in the draft. There's some indications that some Eastern Conference team may have interest in him. Where do you think he lands with the draft coming up, in a few months? Probably less. Well, I don't know. Coming up very soon.
I still think I'm still all in on him kind of sneaking into that late first round, maybe early second round. That's where I kind of just seen him projected. I want to say he got invited to the combine. I want to say he did. So I think that's this weekend. So I think that's going to be the time where he really kind of goes from maybe you've heard of him, like obviously we know because we've seen him up close. But some of these national guys that may have heard of him, they'll get to see him up close. I think he's going to be one of those guys that just kind of just blows it away at the combine, and you start seeing his stock kind of rising. So I would be surprised, like I said, unless he just goes there and just doesn't perform like I think he will. I would be surprised if he's back in college, because I think he's going to get drafted high enough to where he either gets a guaranteed contract or he ends up in a pretty good situation.
So going forward, the way that this portal and the way that things have gone, and how much impact does it have now when you see the Tigers? If a guy like Minot ends up getting drafted, let's say, or even down the line guys getting drafted, is that going to be part of the arsenal for Penny Hardaway anymore, or is it now so much more focused on the veterans in the portal that sort of recruiting pitch has changed?
Well, I actually think the recruiting pitch is still kind of remain the same. Maybe instead of telling guys you can become a lottery pick, you still want to recruit these veterans, but they also want to get to the league too. And maybe with them, it's more so of, instead of, we're going to make you a lottery pick, we're going to have you go high in the draft. We're going to be the team playing for this program, which is pretty high profile, under Penny. We have plenty of games on TV. That could be the difference between you kind of having to play overseas and maybe you getting that opportunity in the G League or getting that, drafted in the late second round. So I think it's still going to be a feather in his cap. And I think he's still going to be getting guys to the NBA. I just think with these veterans, it's less about becoming, top 10 and top 5 picks, and more so just about getting drafted or just getting signed. So, which actually might be a little bit easier of a pitch. So I think The message might change a little bit, but the overall goal of getting guys to the league and being one of those programs that consistently puts guys in the league still remains the same.
Who do you? Where they at as far as getting a big man? Are we pretty much? Are we just gonna ride with Dandridge? Is that your answer, or
what happened to our guy that Jamarian?
My guy, man, yeah,
Jamarian, the guy that. No, not Kenny Lofton. Not
no,
your
my
guy's
Kenny
fine.
Lofton.
It's the other guy, the 7'5" guy from Western Kentucky. He just decided, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding around.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of a couple more players have done it, but I think that kind of surprised a lot. I know it definitely surprised some people at Memphis that he decided to do that. You had heard Memphis, Missouri, and Houston was really involved. I think he was in the process of actually setting up a visit to come down here, so they were definitely caught off guard. But I think for Sane, the good news is the focus kind of shifts back to Kenneth Lofton, and I think he's going to be probably their primary number one option now. And I've seen some pictures, man. He's lost some weight. He looks like he's lost about 15, 20 pounds.
No. We got to go find that weight for that kid, man. I don't want little Kenny Lofton out there.
He's like, it's like little Kenny.
No,
like, look, I lost all this weight.
He might be 240 if he comes here, but yes, I think he's going to be the guy now. I think they try to get him. They got to get another.
I don't want little Luther, man. No, keep him. No, I'm good.
You want to beef him up a little bit.
If it ain't the
beef
full,
him up a little bit.
If it ain't the full Kenny Lofton Jr. experience, man, I don't want it like that. No, no.
But they're definitely going to get. I think they know that. No disrespect to Malcolm, but I don't think they know they can go into the season with their start. And they need another big in general, even if you get DeAndre back. So I think they're definitely going to grab another center, and I think Kenneth Lofton kind of becomes priority number one in the front court.
He was sounding like a Houston lean at one time. What happened with that?
They're still in the mix, still a heavy contender. Some would say maybe they're the favorite, but right now he's
a heavy
guy
contender,
in the draft process. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but they are one of the favorites. He's another guy in the draft process too. So he's a guy that I think wants to stay in the draft process. I guess he'll find out what feedback he gets, but Memphis is in there too. But I do think Houston is one of those teams that they might have to kind of catch up to with Sharp going back to Western Kentucky.
Isn't he possibly? He's in the draft mix, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who?
Yep. So,
Kenny Lofton. I heard he's somebody that was loosely connected to all this said that he actually. They seem like he might stick around a little longer. Like he might actually have enough interest to have a pathway to maybe stick in that. So I don't know. I just.
I want to say he was one of the guys that got an invite to the combine. So, they know they're very least aware of him. Some teams have to have some type of interest in him as a prospect. So I think there's a chance, but he's dropping weight. So, maybe he's another guy that kind of, improves his stock at the combine. But, another year, whether it be at Houston or Memphis, definitely couldn't hurt him either, especially if he drops 20 and 30 pounds, man.
So disappointing. Sorry, Sane. I can't support you on that one. Let's get this man. Let's get this man in, and let's make this thing. Let's make this.
Oh,
thing
trust
happen.
me. Once we get him in Memphis, he'll be fun.
What I know there was a the discussion about Landers Nolley going to Cincinnati was interesting. It seems that there's less controversy about Tyler Harris ending up at South Florida. I mean, similar kind of transfer within the conference, but I don't get the sense that there's much. Acrimony or irritation from Tiger fans about that. Is it just because he's not as frankly not as good of a player? Is Landers Nolley not as impactful? What do you make of the difference there?
I think it's really more to do with South Florida being sorry. So I guess if I'm being real, so you think you look at Cincinnati, I'm sure some Tigers fans view that not only did you go to somebody in conference, you went to our rival. You went to a program that could probably feasibly be one of the teams we got to contend with to win the league next year. So I think all that added up to it. So I think Tyler's a hometown kid. He's going to what can be perceived as a non-threat, and everybody's just probably like, he's just going to go down there and try to average 20 a game. All right, so go ahead, do your thing. But I just think it really more, if he went to like SMU or Houston, I think people would be a lot more charged up about it. But hey, South Florida is South Florida.
Well, that definitely that's probably got a lot to do with it. I mean, I'm not gonna not gonna lie to you, that's probably a factor as well. Do you think he does well there?
I think he's gonna get up a bunch of shots, and I think it's gonna be fun for him. He's gonna be in Tampa he's gonna be putting up buckets. But
dribbling slime.
And then for like Tigers fans, they were like, think about it. If he comes back, he can have a big game. He can score 20 points. Memphis to win by 20. Everybody's happy. So that's why I don't think people are that charged up by him going and staying in conference either.
Are we gonna have an assistant coach this year? Or is Penny just doing like video game style, like just me out there?
Well, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised about what Penny do. I mean, would decide to do. We saw him working out with Sheed, so I thought that situation would be resolved. But him and Rasheed were working out with some. He did have a mask on, working out with some NBA guys on campus. So, and there's still been no announcement about Jermaine Johnson being officially named as one of the assistant coaches. So it still seems like it's in flux. And I know at one point they said Larry Brown was like open to returning, but it kind of needed that, does Penny want him to come back and things of that nature. So it seems like they're still sorting it out. But eventually, whatever he decides to do, whether it's keeping Rasheed on and whatever he decides to do, they don't have much time in that regard. Well, they do have time, but you would like to kind of see stability, right? Especially on the staff. Like, is Larry going to be here? Is Coach Johnson on staff? What's Rasheed's role? So. It's another thing. Penny's going to go at his own pace, but you would like to see some clarity on that front sooner than later.
I got a name for you, Steven. That just kind of fits the mold of what Penny's done since he's been here.
Nia Levy?
Oh, no. I don't want to waste my beloved Coach Ivy on being on Penny's bench. She wouldn't do that no way, man. She wouldn't leave Notre Dame for that. Anyway. Coach Ivy. Anyway. Steven Johnson. What was I saying? See, I get thrown off these type of things, man. No, what was I saying for real? Oh, I got a name, man. Because every year, Penny likes to have guys around that are kind of like his boys, right? That like he can like trust over experience and all that type of thing, right? I got a name that I just kind of throw out there, and you tell me what you think. He's one of Penny's guys. He's got some coaching experience, assistant coaching experience, whatever. He knows the area. He knows kids. Faraji Phillips, former Whitehaven coach. Did a little stint at Vanderbilt. That sounds like it's a given to me. Like that sounds like the easy layup as far as who's Penny going to bring in as an assistant.
I can see that. And I think it would actually probably be. I mean, it wouldn't be an NBA guy that hasn't done the coaching game at all.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Just give me a dude who can coach me. I don't care about some former player who, whatever. You're Penny Hardaway. You don't need it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I could see that. Like you say, he has a kind of that experience at Vanderbilt. He's kind of young in the sense that, and obviously being from the city where he would kind of be with the program, he could kind of grow and be not molded, but you know what I mean. Kind of grow in Penny's coaches. I would be on board with that. I know he was a great coach in high school, so I think that would be. I think that would be a good choice, and like we both said, it would be a step away from going with NBA guys that maybe don't know as much about the game as maybe you would like to for the staff.
What are you hearing about the attempt from the NCAA to navigate the NIL craziness of the last year or so with some new policies that are designed to eliminate it sounds silly to even talk about it, to try to eliminate some of the inducement aspect of the NIL. It's not supposed to be an inducement to go to school, or there's supposed to be certain limitations and all that no one has done anything about. The NCAA didn't do anything about. Is the cat out of the bag on this one, or can they find some way? Will anyone actually care about these regulations?
I don't think many people will care, and like what the NCAA has to understand, like these boosters, collectors, whatever the case may be, they want to pay these kids, so they'll find a way. Trust me, I'm sure they've been looking at all the fine print. Maybe somebody gets caught or something like that, but until like we see a collective at Ole Miss or somebody get popped for something like that, it just kind of just seems like this is the right thing for us to do, but there's really no way for us to enforce. And like I said, the sooner they just accept that, this is a part of the game. NIL matters. These players, they're going to consider NIL deals and things like that. So I just think it's like kind of like one last, attempt to kind of keep up this charade of this kind of it being amateur sports when we know that at the basic point, a kid from Miami that I haven't heard too much about is making $400,000 a year, and I imagine what some of these other guys are making. Running back at Texas has an NIL deal with some type of luxury car dealership, so it's like the money's out there. It's not going away now that it's here. So I think the NCAA, instead of trying to find ways to kind of enforce it, should find a way to make sure it's regulated and that the players and the schools are all kind of in a good position as opposed to trying to crack down on it. It's here now. You know, you took the top off, ain't no putting it back on. So you might as well get adjusted to it, in my view.
Well, and the thing is that, you know, I get the whole booster aspect of it, you know, and you know, you want to regulate boosters and their behavior to whatever extent that you can. But by the same token, in order to do that, you have to have actual bodies in the enforcement to do this. Mm-hmm. They don't have enough people. You know, like they don't have they're down 20 bodies in their office right now for, you know, various reasons, pandemic, budget, whatever else. So, you know, if you're going to sit there and try to regulate schools to this degree, you have to actually get people out there to do it. They don't have anybody. And is that something that's going to interest them to sit there and sort through all these different deals and all this different situation when, you know, you've already allowed them to have a year's head start in putting these things together? I just, it seems silly to me to think the NCAA is going to all of a sudden start trying to do this and be in any way effective at all.
Yeah, it's like, even if they were fully staffed, you got to wonder, is this really a fight or a position that we really need to take, as opposed to, like I said, just finding ways to make sure the players are protected with these deals and things of that nature. So, I mean, the NCAA just kind of does what it continues to do, kind of just making head-scratching decisions. If you wanted to come out and really kind of be in control of it, I think, like you kind of said, it should have been last year when this kind of came into effect. But now, you know, different states have different laws. Everybody has kind of either found their loopholes, or they found ways to do it and not get in trouble so far. So now it's like you're trying to play catch-up, and you're short-staffed, you're undermanned. You're fighting a fight that probably most people don't even want you to fight. So it's just like they're in a no-win situation, and I just think they need to kind of pivot as always. But, you know, we know how that goes. We do?
All right. Do the Grizzlies win another game in the series?
What's up with Ja's knee? Is it bad? Is it?
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's done. It ain't gonna be good.
So he's done. It's hard for me to say right now. Bane's banged up. Dillon is Dillon. I've loved what I'm seeing from Jaren this series. But I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to kind of replicate that defensive performance. But they could surprise me, guys. I think it ends in 5, man. I think it ends in 5.
Of course it is.
All right. Well, we do our best, Stephen. That's all we can do. All right. When we'll talk to you again next week. Hopefully, maybe some things will change. Maybe we'll see another player, or some coaches, or something.
Keep the faith.
We'll see. That's right. All right. Thanks, Stephen.
All right.
Stephen Johnson joining us on the program. We'll come back. We'll continue our discussion about last night and about what needs to happen from here as we continue Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 98.5.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town, open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
DQ presents the sound of an all-star summer lineup. Leading off, the promising rookie, new Oreo Dirt Pie. On deck, the fan-favorite Girl Scout Thin Mints. Summer standouts, Drumstick with peanuts and cotton candy. And batting cleanup, it's you. With your red spoon and 6 summer Blizzard flavors, official treat of MLB, all part of the new DQ All-Star Summer Blizzard lineup. DQ? Happy tastes good.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Remember the song, The Times They Are A-Changin'? This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and that is exactly what has happened in the real estate business. That is why I team up with Kelly Erb, or Hugh Mallory, or Elizabeth Kulo, Melanie Simpson, or Diane Balkin. With one of them as a marketing partner and my old self as a point person, we have taken the changing real estate market and turned it into our benefit and our clients. Today, we talk about escalation and appraisal gap clauses, bidding wars, and which is the best deal for our client. And what you see is not always what you get. Most people call me Shell Dunn because they've heard that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. So before you make a move in real estate, remember to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure I'm one of them. Reach me, Sheldon Rosengarten, Shell Dunn, at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Back on Sports 56 Grind Time, we just wrapped up with Steven Johnson. He sounds pretty much like the Grizzlies are done when is the next game? I don't even care, man. I'm out. After last night, man.
You said you wanted to lay down, man. No.
Man, just lay down, man. Just get this over with. Let us cheer for you. Let's have a little end-of-season pep rally. Give you guys your flowers.
All right, how about this? How about I change the topic right quick? I wanted to ask Steven this question. Keith sent in pretty smart text. I wanted to know this as well.
Yeah.
He says he heard that Tyler Harris says he didn't have a spot. So what does that mean? No scholarship or no starting spot?
I don't think that Penny wanted him back at all. Yeah.
So there's no scholarship, basically.
Well, no, I don't think he wanted him on the team, period.
Okay.
Yeah, walk on or scholarship.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay, no scholarship,
I don't
no
think
starting spot at all. So there you have it, Keith.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. But it looks pretty obvious that that's what the situation was to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No Tyler Harris action.
Yeah. Didn't get a chance to ask him about Caleb Murphy, which felt like a done deal, but haven't heard anything else from that on the whole Caleb Murphy situation. But yeah, I think it's.
How about that, P? You like that soft rock?
It's beautiful. That's
like
much
that.
better.
And it was a cover too.
Yeah, it was softer. And that's what it's all about. Rockier.
Little Mariah Carey cover.
And softer. It was Can't Stop Now. Yeah. I mean, I think the original's better, frankly, but
she's prettier.
But well, that's certainly true. But it's radio. It's radio, my man. It's radio. All right. So, we're working through the grief. There's one other situation. Now, I've seen this sort of bubbling over with some aspects of the social media world, the Reddit and the Twitter world, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I like to lurk around. I don't really like to, I say what I say on the social media. I drop my stuff. Yeah, I don't like to get involved with all these the shenanigans and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like I'm not getting. I don't want to get into a bunch of feuds. That's not my thing. But I'm gonna say what I say. But I have seen in my. But I'll definitely keep an eye on what's going on out there. You know, I'm more of a observer, more of a voyeur, if you will, as opposed to a participant. If we're doing this eyes wide shut thing, I'm watching, but I'm not part of it. You might be.
Yeah, I'm just
all up in it.
I ain't in that, bro. I don't care about nothing. None of you folks talking about on Twitter with this series. I ain't involved in none of it.
So, but here's the one thing I've seen people sort of start to make an allusion to. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where to begin with it. Do you think there is a possibility? Let's say that Wednesday starts to go sideways. Tomorrow, fans are there. Grizzlies start to lose. Dylan Brooks is 0 for let's say 9 or 10 again.
Mm-hmm.
Does he get booed?
No, I don't think we'll do that.
Nope.
I think you'll hear a lot of life leaving the building.
I think you'll hear a lot of grumbling. I think it's going to be a lot of that.
Too many people like Dylan, man.
You'll hear a lot of.
I think that the resounding feeling for the city is that we all like Dylan, but it's just kind of time to move on. Like, I don't think anybody's like, oh man, like I hate Dylan Brooks. Like, I mean, we love Dylan here. Like,
if he's out of here, like you guys say, he's gonna get like a standing ovation when he comes back.
Give him
That
some
first
love.
game he comes back. Oh yeah.
Because I think it's.
I think
every dilly night.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely going to give. I think they're definitely going to give him the love. I think they're definitely going to give him
a little video.
Yeah. No, I think that's
had that Oregon flop on there.
Yeah, I think it's definitely that's going to happen. But honestly though, I think people will be supportive, and that Memphis is always supportive. But I do think this is hopefully a lesson learned for everybody. This hasn't just been like I'm not just out here blowing smoke. We're not just making stuff up. Hadn't been blowing smoke for a very long time. The truth is, this Grizzly team cannot. There is a limitation on what they can do, while they rely on Dylan Brooks this much.
Mm-hmm.
Now the whole thing, the Jaws injury makes things a lot worse.
Yeah.
But the deal that they've made in order to incorporate Dylan Brooks and his defensive intensity and his mindset, and again, I think that's one of those things. Just like going back to Tony Allen, I think Tony Allen's defensive intensity and mindset was important, but it wasn't necessarily the be all end all. There were he wasn't the most disciplined defensive player in the world, and Dylan isn't either. But you've used him. You've had a lot of great success with doing the stuff that Dylan has done. So that's all cool. But to go to the next level, because we talk about the little things, like this is all this is little things talk, saying this the point we were making at the beginning of this playoff run was this is a little thing series. Like the Warriors are a team that, whether they're hitting on all cylinders or not, they can put it together and do the little things right in order to execute in key moments and to win games. And that's what happens. They draw fouls. They do make plays. They make shots. They do the little things like that. They don't execute perfectly all the time, but they execute well enough. And then they really crank it up towards the end and do those little things, little bits of this here and there. The Grizzlies do not have that capability yet. And I dare say they're not going to have that capability while a guy like Dylan plays this role for the team. Mm-hmm. And so we can talk about once the offseason comes around, trades and that kind of stuff like that. That's all fine. But at the end of the day, as it stands right now, this team has made a deal with the devil, and that deal is coming back to haunt them.
I know you said we'll talk about trades later. I'm not going to throw a name out. I'm just kind of throw out a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be opposed to a deal with Dylan? Because you can't just trade Dylan for nothing. You're going to have to take some type of salary back.
Yeah, but it's a fairly small contract.
Right. Would you be opposed to a deal for a player who's clearly not an upgrade? Like where all you're doing basically is just getting Dylan out of the way. Where you're getting a guy who, when you bring an asset back, like maybe a first round, second round pick, and you take a player back who may not be an upgrade, may even play the same position, might be a backup, a backup big or something. Would you be okay with something like that and still leaving a hole at Dylan's position?
I would. I think that'd be. I'd probably be okay with that. Obviously, it would depend on the structure and everything else, but it would. But I would be okay with that as a general kind of concept. Yeah. I think. Man, look. Again, we talked about this. Nobody. I'm gonna repeat this for everybody in the back. Nobody in the last 2 decades of NBA playoff basketball has ever taken as many shots and has been as big a part of the offense as Dylan Brooks and done so poorly with them.
All right, come on, man.
No.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
No.
Nobody in 2 decades. Many of you who are listening weren't even born. Many of you have had kids since then. Your kids may be about to, get up out of they grew up the entire time between the last time this happened and now. You can't have that.
Really good.
So, Dylan was much better last year. But again, he's one of those guys where the higher the leverage situation, the less I trust that he's going to do the right thing. He's a big fish in a small pond. The bigger the moment, the more I trust that Dylan is probably going to not be ready for it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So last year in the playoffs, there was absolutely zero pressure. The Grizzlies were playing completely with house money. They were not expected to make the actual playoffs. They went into Golden State. Nobody expected them to win that play-in game. They won that game. Nobody expected them to do anything against Utah. They won one of those games. We had a decent enough, reasonably competitive 1-8 series. And Dylan Brooks had some good numbers. But they didn't really matter. Now it matters. This is a team that you expected them to win round one. They had home court in round two, and maybe they weren't expected to win, but you expected a pretty good performance. So the stakes are much higher. And in those higher stakes, Dylan Brooks has been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear this. One of my biggest pet peeves saying a lot of people around here have, because of Tony Allen, have always thought that that defense, or that defensive intensity or whatever overcomes any kind of offensive problems. Is the NBA right now a defensive or an offensive league?
It's an offensive league.
It's an offensive league.
Mm-hmm. As great as Boston's defense is, the fact that they've got two of the probably top 20 perimeter scorers in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what
was the score last night? 116-106. It wasn't 85-74. Like this isn't
you
back
can't stop people.
This isn't the mid '90s with Antonio Davis and the Pacers and all this and Charles Oakley and this isn't that league.
Yeah.
Defense is very important, but offense is more important. And that lack of offense, when he comes in, just not only has a bad offense for just himself, but it totally takes the rest of the team out of the mix. That undoes whatever the positives are happening on defense are being undone. You can score 2 points. You can prevent 2 points. It's still the same 2 points either way.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't balance out, and for him it doesn't, then you got a problem.
And it's something we talk about all the time. Not only is it an offensive league, it's also not a one-on-one wave off the switch. Like, no, I'm gonna check this guy. I'm gonna be locked on to him. No, those days are over, man. Like,
well, it can be if you're good enough to do it. If you're Luka, if you're Ja, if you're Tatum, yeah, sure, go crazy.
Yeah.
If you're Kawhi,
yeah. No, I mean like defenders who like.
If you're yeah. Oh, on the defensive side, yeah. It's a team defensive effort.
Yeah. Switchability is much more important than being a thirsty dog in today's NBA.
I don't know. Anyway, it's frustrating because people have had this thing about Dylan, and it's just not accurate anymore. And it really wasn't even accurate for the Grizzlies back in those days. They made it work, but it really wasn't even accurate then. Defense can only get you so much, and especially in the postseason, man. The postseason, and we are seeing it now, and I just keep thinking about it, and it goes back to remind me yet again. It's so different than the regular season. It is such a different beast, and these playoff series continue to remind you, man. It is brutal when you get to the point when you start to face teams like this, and you have to beat them 4 different times. You have to find a way to undo the stuff that they're trying to do to you. You have to find a way to beat them. And the Grizzlies have gotten close. They've gotten close, real close. But that little barrier between close and actually doing it feels small and it looks small, but it's really large. Mm-hmm. Because if you continue to lose these games on a regular basis, it shows you that you've got a long, long way to go. That's where they are. I always liken it to those of you that play golf. It's easy to become, if you shoot 100 at playing golf, you're not very good. And to go from 100 to like 90 is not that hard. You can do that pretty quickly. And to go from 90 to 80, it's not. You can do that. It's a little harder, but you can do that. But to go from like shooting like a 75 to shooting like a 73 those 2 little shots are extremely difficult. And to go from shooting, 72 to shooting 70 on a regular basis, that's even harder. In that 70 to a 69, that little one shot is harder than the 30 before it. And that's where the Grizzlies are. They're to that point where that little bitty step, it's just one step, but that's the hardest step that you have to take. Mm-hmm. And it's going to require them to kind of, decouple Dillon Brooks from this mindset that he's in. It's going to require them to, recalibrate how they do some things, how they prioritize stuff. There's been a lot of teams that have gotten to the point of like, hey, we're pretty good. Mm-hmm. The list is long, Anthony's saying, of teams that were, hey, man, this team looks pretty good. This team's set up pretty good for the future. And then what happened to them? They stayed pretty good for a few years, and then they were done. They never made that next step. A lot of teams like that.
You can't waste these type of opportunities, man.
So they have to do something to take that next step. You can't. The Thunder. I mean, look how good. Look how close the Thunder were. Look how good they were. Look how stacked with talent they were. Did they make an NBA Finals? Yeah, one.
Yeah.
I mean, and they had all-world guys on their team. So.
Yeah. Got a text, though we're up against the break, says, I wish Dillon had more Marcus Smart in him. Marcus ain't the best offensive player, and he has his moments, but he knows that his calling card is being greater on defense and offense. Last night, this person was at the watch party. He said last night the whole park wanted to fight Dillon through the screen. Yeah, good luck with that because Marcus, he'll never have that mentality. Marcus Smart was a much better college basketball player than Dillon Brooks was drafted much higher. And he realized early in his career that he can't be that guy in the NBA. He realized it very early. He's like, I'll never be an offensive. I won't be a guy that's scoring 20-some points a game. Dillon Brooks is dead set on being a 20 points a game scorer. When the stat about we win when Dillon scores 20 was a thing, he let you know that's a thing. You know what I mean? So
that did get snapped, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was
got
snapped a long time ago.
Snapped a long time ago,
but we still had a pretty good record when he was scoring 20. But he would let you know that was the case too.
Well, and the thing is that Marcus Smart is. Yeah, he was drafted. He was drafted 6th. I mean, he was a super high level player in college. All that stuff is true. And even he has his issues. But yeah, at the end of the day, he's a much better player. Period. And the mentality is different. It's just part of it. I told you that's why I say it's the deal of the devil, man. That's Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks had to become the villain in order to be who he is. Like, he had to have this irrational confidence level. He had to have this irrational shooting thing. He had to have all that stuff. He would never have become this player without it. But the deal with the devil is, that comes with a lot of negativity, a lot of negative shots, especially in high leverage situations like this. Mm-hmm. And you can't trust him. You just can't. No. You cannot. And that's where I go back to Taylor Jenkins and say it's just silly. It's just silly to talk about. Like, you could, I mean, publicly is fine. Like, like players, I expect like Ja tweeted out like some Grizzly fan stuff. We're tweeting out like, low lights of Dillon Brooks. Like, oh, look at all this garbage. And Ja's like, stop it, man. This is y'all are being ridiculous. Take this down, delete this, etc. Like, I get that players should defend each other. Yeah, of course you defend your team.
They've been through wars together.
But for a coach to sit up there and talk about, I trust this guy completely. That's silly. That's ridiculous. How could you trust? He hasn't earned your trust. You cannot trust a guy completely that has done the things he's done this series, this playoff run. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's 2 games removed from one of the dumbest plays. He took himself out of 2 full games of the series.
Yeah, the heart and soul. We were heartless and soulless.
And you say, and Taylor Jenkins says, "No, I trust him completely." Why? What has he done to earn your trust? What about his play has told you, wow, this is a really trustworthy guy? Like, I think this is a guy you could really build on. His decision making is impeccable. Huh? Mm-hmm. Would you trust Dillon Brooks? If you said, hey, my family's on the line. My family's, Dark Knight style. They're hanging on a rope right now over the edge of the water, and the Joker's going to cut the rope if Dillon Brooks misses the 3. How would you feel about that? Would you trust Dillon Brooks to take 3 good shots?
course not. The man is 6 for 33, 4 games.
I mean, it's
No, it was
3
9 for 44. Man.
9 for 44.
9 for 44.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Kobe.
Yeah, y'all were hollering Kobe.
Again,
Y'all know. I
told you he's had the worst true shooting percentage in 7 years, and the worst mixed with his usage rate in 2 decades.
Well, smart man once said this.
It feels small and it looks small, but it's really large.
I love that drop. Just a minute ago, he gave it to me, baby. I got that one. It feels small.
But it's large.
You need me to run it back? You need me to run that one back?
That's all time.
It feels small and it looks small, but it's really large.
Yeah,
that's right. Thank you.
That sounds like you said that.
You have to tell. That's the first time I've said that.
Yeah, it's like all your life you've been pleading your case out there.
That's the first time I've said that.
Look.
Trust me.
It's your boy.
There was an all-timer out here. I wish I could have cut because it was amazing.
Yeah, that was good.
Unfortunately, I'm not in charge of it. You got me, Darian. You got me.
He got you good.
You got me. You got me.
Hey, man, got you, man.
He said that I almost died out there working feverishly so I can get that back to him. Oh, man.
You got me. You got me.
Yeah, that's good.
You got me.
I'm so jealous of Boston. I could just get a Jason Tatum.
Hour number 2 continues here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 98.5.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale. It's happening right now at Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together. There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Mid-South Hobbies is passionate about your hobby. They have your favorite model airplanes, boats, race cars, and trains to build with brands you know like Traxxas, Lionel, and LGB. Mid-South Hobbies has all the accessories to make them complete and thousands of paint colors to make them shine. You can reach the sky with rockets and kites or reach deep into your imagination with action figures, comic book superheroes, and fantasy quest games. Get passionate about your hobby at Mid-South Hobbies, 4862 Summer Avenue.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
There's a new sun rising. I can see a new horizon. That will
By the way, to extend the story we were talking about yesterday, the Joey Sulipek situation. I
heard you guys.
He is Fox 13, where he works, is investigating.
I thought that was so weird. What are you investigating?
Not sure.
Do you say, Joey, are you a racist? No. All right, see you Monday. Like, what does that investigation entail? Seriously, I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm joking, but
They
I also
stated
would like
they
to
took all of his trademark, his pictures, likeness, all that stuff. They took all of that down as well.
For real? Oh, he's gone.
So,
I ain't gonna lie. The part where he doubled down on it, I think that's what's gonna kill him.
Yeah,
he wasn't really to listen to. Oh crap, man, y'all! I'm sorry, I didn't know. I meant this, but even that's dumb. So I apologize.
You made some great points on Ask a Black Man because the
you heard
the
us yesterday?
hillbilly. Of course, man. I'm way in Florida. I support you. What? Come on, man.
Man, I wouldn't
Listen,
support us from outside town. I've been somewhere enjoying
you got
Florida.
me with the hillbilly one.
Yeah.
That's the one you got me with. And
I
you
didn't
said
know.
the young lady was like, hey, I mean, that can be offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I take your statement going forward. You don't have to explain to me why it's offensive.
Yeah, if it offended you, it just does. Like
you don't have to explain.
She was like, when you say that, that's offensive. Like that's a word to describe.
Totally agree.
Right.
And you guys had nachos in here yesterday.
It's kind of like
too,
saying,
man.
well, I can't say that word, but I'll say it out there. But a hillbilly is the equivalent of saying another word that we use. But
I feel you.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the tweets. So you do think at the end of the day that
it sounds bad. It sounds like he's gonna be gone.
Because for the record, you were saying you're okay with an apology tour and
You said plead ignorance.
Plead ignorance.
Yeah, I was listening.
But I think
very
he's kind of
hard.
past that point. When he came out, I was like, "Screw y'all! I said what I said." Like,
I think
God,
that hurts the ignorance plea a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think people have a large capacity for forgiveness, and I think unfortunately we've asked black people in this country to forgive an awful lot. And
I ain't forgiving nothing. I'm done.
And that's it's not an infinite capacity for forgiveness, especially when behavior doesn't change. You can't. You can't. I've always heard and I've always been told that you offer an apology and you hope that somebody will offer you forgiveness, but all you can do is offer an apology and offer, contrition and offer, a way to atone for it. You can offer an apology and you can offer atonement, but you cannot guarantee forgiveness. It's not up to you at that point. You release it into the universe. I haven't seen any, I'm sure, I'm sure there's contrition now, and I'm sure, I don't know what atonement he could pull at this point. I mean, maybe some.
You guys know NBC even picked the story up.
Oh,
NBC.
it's everywhere. I mean, it's as I'm saying. It's because I mean, it's a from the outside, it's a weird, a Memphis weatherman tweets a racist slur at Draymond. It's very strange. Just a very. To go along with what's been a very strange series, this is just another.
If you look at it from out of town, like if you're not from Memphis, you're like, okay, what is going on down there? Yeah, it would look ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it does. It does. And for people, and then there's a lot of people who again don't know that Memphis is not the rest of Tennessee, and so they think, oh, well, of course it's a racist guy from Tennessee, and all this stuff, and that's, I'm not going to get into the argument of like, does a racist act or a racist comment make somebody a racist full stop? I don't know. I mean, that's a whole different discussion. I just know that you can't, you just can't do that, and whatever happens at this point, it's really he's just going to have to throw himself on the mercy of.
I know you haven't
the people because it's not. Yeah. It's a tough spot.
I know you haven't done this, Darren. I don't know if you have or not, but if you visit his Facebook page, you can see the comment section is. The
Facebook page is still up.
Yeah,
because the Twitter page was deactivated.
Well, yeah, the Joey Sulipek Fox 13 official blue checked. His last post was a weather forecast on May the 7th at 11. What was that? Sunday morning?
No, that was the night. That was the night it happened. May the 7th at 11.
11 a.m.
That was the Saturday of the game.
Okay, that was the Saturday of the game. So yeah, he hadn't posted.
Little did he know.
Yeah, and people in the comments.
Pete, he's a part of Mensa as well.
I know,
the intelligence group.
Yeah, the high IQ.
High IQ group. Yeah.
Yeah, and his people.
Dark clouds are rolling into my future, sadly. Right. It's my forecast.
Yeah.
It's not going to go well for the next few hours.
It
feels small, and it looks small, but it's really large.
Yeah. One person said it's racist to them, realist to me.
I got to delete that.
Yeah.
I can't
scrub that.
I can't be having that. I can't be having him with access to that.
You can't be attached to that.
I can't be attached
Connected to that forever, yeah. Racist to them, realist to me is what a lady said in his comments.
All I can say is
the times we live in, man.
The times.
Black lady says real fast, I support you, Unc. Keep your head up. This too shall pass. Just a common trope to use religious stuff in Memphis. Anyway, then somebody says, so when did it become cool for black people to love the Klan?
Oh, boy.
But this is not the late show. Stats. Gabe Kuhn. We got to go.
We're out of time.
Tommy Thunder's coming up next.
Gabe, you okay?